to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good, bad guys of wrestling podcast are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. Kevin's here.
Hey.
Joe is here.
Yep. And we're done. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door was on Sunday night, and I ended up watching the show. It was, all on the straight and narrow illegal stream. Excuse me.
I was about to say, because I know you didn't pay for
My
it.
fault. It's the Shorts brewing right down my throat here, that peppercorn. Quick thoughts on it. So I saw about 75% of it. I didn't get into it until after MJF was the opening match. I missed that. I made the mistake of, at the end, it was Tony Storm and Willow Nightingale. I waited to the end of that match to take a shower. I should have taken a shower then. I needed to take a shower. I stunk. And I thought the next match, based on how the card was going, was going to be the 6-man of Sting and Darby and whoever else.
Yeah.
I come out of the shower and get situated, and we're into Ospreay and Omega. And I went, no! So I missed the start of it.
But it was like 37 minutes long. I mean,
I saw plenty. Yes.
With 42 false finishes.
Yes. I love the match. It's a match of the year candidate for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just fantastic. And the parts, like I was texting a friend who was also watching it, and it really was a match that had kind of 3 parts as far as the themes. The first part was just a lot of brutal moves, like them showing off their athleticism. Then kind of in the middle, a lot of submission attempts, a lot of close fighting, just kind of working to get every inch of advantage. And then the third part was just big moves trying to get to the finish. The only complaint, and Bully Ray brought this up on Busted Open, Don Callis was ejected early on in the match, and he just later in the match just comes on back down. So
I got to agree with you on that one too.
It's like
Don Callis was not needed.
No.
That you don't need to sell a storyline when you got Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. You don't need Don Callis involved in there. I think it was a great match because I did end up able to see it too.
Nice.
But it was long.
Yeah.
It was hard hitting, entertaining, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Those two could go for an Iron Man match and I would be totally all in. Yeah. I think those two, for their decisive, because they fought twice already now, right?
Yes.
So I think the third one has to be an Iron Man match so we can stop with the false finishes and just have them count as pins. And no Callis, no run-ins, no Elite, no nothing, just those two Iron Man match. The last duel.
The only thing I thought about in kind of relation was, it first reminded me of the WrestleMania main event of Roman and Cody. Solo was ejected. He ends up coming back out to help Roman. But for that one, he came out with a hood. He had a hood on the crowd. He snuck. Callis just walked back down the ramp I am going to go back out there. That's a little bizarre to me. But amazing match. They showed highlights on Dynamite on Wednesday night. Fantastic. The other one I was really looking forward to, Bryan Danielson and Okada. I was massively let down. Massively.
Wow, really?
Mid is the word I would use. It was fine. It just didn't compare to me like Omega and Ospreay did. I thought the crowd, after initially being excited, I think they were just spent. You see what I'm saying, Joe?
It reminded me of Triple H Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25.
They were burnt out.
It was a good match, but it had to follow Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Right. So I think that's a fair comparison. We find out later, Bryan Danielson broke his forearm with 10 minutes left in the match. So he wasn't on Dynamite on Wednesday night. He's probably going to be out for a couple months, you would think. So I'll throw a bit of a pass. They they really talked up when the match was over. Like, I don't think this is settled. And in my mind, I was like, really? He just beat him clean. He tapped him out. But you would think they'll do a rematch down the line because that's just how it works. But yeah, I was so disappointed in that match. And when I see some people online are like 4.5 stars, I'm like, what were you watching? Because it was fine. It was good. But it just didn't do it for me. So, that's my Forbidden Door thoughts. It's a fun show. It's a fun concept. I liked, because I didn't watch really the first one, I liked how they do both ring announcers for every match. The AEW, Justin Roberts, whoever does the announcement of Bryan Danielson, and then the New Japan announcer does his in Japanese because it's the dual promotion show. So it's a cool show. But yeah, definitely go out of your way to watch Ospreay and Omega. Let's talk about, there's been a couple of big wrestling anniversaries this week. 12-year anniversary of the CM Punk Pipe Bomb. But the one we're going to focus more on today, 25 years of Undertaker and Mankind Hell in a Cell at King of the Ring 1998. This was the second ever Hell in a Cell. Of course, everyone knows Mankind thrown off the top of the cell and everything else that goes along with it. Kev, what were you doing for this match? Can you remember 25 years ago?
I remember it because junior and senior year of high school, every single pay-per-view was at my buddy Matt Callis's house, one street over.
Shout out to Matt Callis, MC as I used to know.
Yeah. Junior in high school, man. That was the massive amount of wrestling, right? Everyone in high school loved it. It was the cool thing to walk down the hall in wrestling shirts. 25 years ago, man. That's crazy to think that now we're all in our 40s. We were all teenage. Were you guys in your 20s? Were you 20?
No.
Okay.
No, it was after freshman year of college.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
98.
Yeah, 19.
98, so yeah.
No, I was almost 19. Yeah. I was like, you were probably right there, Joe. You just turned 19.
I turned 19 a week earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And I was about a week away. So,
but it's just that's the crazy thing with wrestling, right? So that's 25 years ago, but it seems like it just happened a little bit ago. Then you think of different things, and you're just like, holy shit, that happened 10 years ago. Pipe Bomb 12 years ago. I looked on my Facebook memories and I wrote, watched a pretty sweet promo on Raw tonight. You didn't talk about anything what it was, but 12 years ago, man, that time goes by way too damn fast. That's the crazy thing. But Mankind Undertaker, holy shit.
Okay, real quick. I want to see how well you guys remember the rest of the card. Who was the King of the Ring? 1998. Exactly.
Was it Billy Gunn?
Who won King of the Ring? Nope.
Oh, they had the King of the Ring.
Triple H?
Nope.
Oh, Sabio Vega?
Nope.
Oh.
Who was it?
Hold up.
Ken Shamrock?
Mabel?
Yes,
Mabel?
Ken Shamrock was
Whoa!
1998. 97
Google
was
free,
Triple
I promise
H.
you guys. Yeah.
97 was Triple H. 99 was Billy Gunn.
I was in the ballpark. Yeah.
And 96 was some other guy. I think it was a ringmaster. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He didn't amount
back
to
when the
much.
King of the Ring was supposed to mean something. I think the last real one was like 2004 or 2002 when Brock won.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see, like, everyone talks about the Hell in a Cell match that night, but do you remember who actually won King of the Ring?
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
No,
you don't. You do now.
you can rewind it for a minute and figure it out. Kevin, do you remember when the match is happening and Mankind's thrown off the top and everything that happens? Like, do you remember thinking, like, holy shit, like, this is amazing? Like, can you think back 25 years? Like, did it feel that way for you?
I'm going to go back into a time machine and remember exactly what I thought. I thought, what the fuck is going on? This guy just got thrown off the fucking cage because we didn't see anything like that before.
Yeah. Did you have a Facebook memory that you just looked up for 25? Oh, I guess that wouldn't happen. Huh?
Just a couple years before MySpace.
Yes.
Did you have an AOL chat room memory?
No, it actually said 17/M/M/MI couple spaces. Just watched Mankind got thrown off the cell.
Wow.
But no, just we've seen crazy stuff happened before, but not to that level. Right.
Yeah.
And when you're with 5, 6 of your very nerdy friends in high school watching it, you have nothing else but to go crazy. That's the wild thing.
Joe, same questions to you. What were you doing for the match? Did you see it live, and your reactions as it was happening?
Watched it live. I was at my friend John's house because it was his turn to order the pay-per-view, because we would take turns house by house instead of having the same one. So it was his turn, and it was him, my buddy Jamie, my buddy Joe, and myself. And we thought the match was over, and we were fine with it. We were just like, okay, it's over. Good enough. And then when he came back out, I'm like, okay, so that was all planned. It's like that, whatever. But then, like, when he went through the top, that's when we all lost it. We went, oh my God. And then Terry Funk comes out there and he gets choke slammed out of his shoe, which is hilarious.
JR with the call on that.
JR, I think JR and the King have never sounded better calling a match ever. They told the story, and it was just like, I just look back at it going like, oh my God, how is anything going to top this? Because when I watched the watch along with Undertaker and Foley was right. Yeah,
for those,
he was right
those
when
who
he
don't
said,
know, real quick,
go ahead.
for those who you talk about, they just released, I think earlier on Tuesday, Taker and Foley together. They're in Austin, Texas, at presumably Taker's house, rewatching the match and commentating. This just went up on WWE's YouTube page, and it's a must watch.
Yes, it is. But when he said at the beginning, Foley was right when he said he was floundering because he came out for his entrance and it was like crickets, because he went through all 3 personas in the first 6 months of the year. He started the year as Cactus Jack, and then he faced Austin after WrestleMania as Dude Love, but really it was Austin versus McMahon. He was basically the foil. And then he turned into Mankind for no reason and went against Undertaker to start their feud up again, and it was for nothing. So they could do Hell in the Cell again. And it was just like, yeah, he pretty much was right. He was just not clicking with the crowd anymore. But then when he got up, he was a made man for the rest of his career. Like that match made his career skyrocket to we wouldn't be talking about the that will put butts in the seats if it wasn't for Hell in a Cell. That is one of those matches where after I watched it, I waited like a month for it to come out on video at Family Video because Blockbuster didn't have it, rented it, and made my dad watch it because he always said, why do you watch that fake stuff? Why do you that's so fake? I'm like, we're just gonna watch this match.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever. And then when he watched it, he went, well, still fake. But he realized it was just like, wow, that was amazing.
That's something that Foley referenced as part of this watch along, of just there's people that, again, if you're somebody like us, like, why do you watch this wrestling fan or wrestling stuff, that they'll go, okay, but watch this match. And they put on Hell in a Cell. And he said, usually 2 things either happen. Either they watch it and they become a fan, or they watch it and go, okay, I get it now. Because just how amazing that match was. I was in Pittsburgh. It was at Pittsburgh's Mellon Arena. I was a poor college student, so I didn't get to go. Our friend Ken was there, and we'll see him at SummerSlam. But he's up there in the cheap seats somewhere that he goes back and watches.
So he was eye level with Undertaker?
He was eye level with Taker at the top of the cage saying, yo, take. But I was watching in my buddy Debo's basement. You know, he had one of those cable descramblers. So we didn't pay for that. But
cheater box.
Yeah, so he had that. So we watched it, and
for the younger demographic who's listening to us, that would be like taking someone's password on a streamer.
Yes.
If you wanted to compare the two, like the cheater box was having someone's password on a streaming device. All right, sorry, Brian.
No, that was great. That's the equivalent of how it was back in the 80s and 90s. So when he gets thrown off the cell, I remember getting off the couch. Like I was sitting and I like stood up, Joe, I did that later at Buffalo Wild Wings when
Undertaker match.
HBK kicked out of the Undertaker's tombstone. So yeah, I knew in the moment, I was like, what the hell is going on? And the watch along is fantastic. Go check it out. They have such good stories about what's happening in the match. There's a little moment when the top of the cage started to dip, like they take a wrong step and it starts to dip, and then it's so funny. Foley's like, all right, so here I am, I'm gonna go for a suplex, and Taker was like, and
no, you're
starts
not.
like punching him because he's like, that cage just dipped. You are not suplexing me on this cage.
Then he threw him off the cage.
He throws him off the cage.
That was the best. It's like, I'm gonna go for a suplex, and
it was hilarious.
Smacks him. No, you're not. And he throws him off the cage.
Yeah, he like puts his arm on, and Taker just starts like uppercutting, like, no, well, you are not suplexing me. I'm gonna fall through the goddamn ring or through the cage.
I love the story when like Undertaker said, when they talked about the choke slam where he went through it, where they thought it was going to take 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
They thought it was going to take 2 or 3. They planned on him going through it, like having the cage break, because they could hear the popping of the metal ties.
The zip cord. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they were like, okay, it'll take 2, maybe 3. And it took 1. Right. Like, thank God I didn't get any height on that.
Yeah, and Foley says that. He's like, I didn't get any height on it. It's like, you're on a fence thing. Like, how are you possibly going to do it? It's a really, really, again, I encourage everyone to go check this out. The only other parts I'll say without giving everything away. Interesting that Foley said for a long time in his life, he resented that match because that was the only thing that people would ask him about. And here's a guy who had probably 10, 12-year career before this match as Cactus Jack and everything else and all the things he did afterward. And that was it. So it took him a while, and him and Undertaker, basically eventually came to a conclusion. I think he talked about it being at one of his speaking engagements in Texas, and Taker came on and came up to him and they said basically like, this match will outlive us both. We'll be dead and people will still talk about this. And that's really cool. And the fact that they can have that piece and have that recognition of that with the match is really special.
I agree with you on that one. It's I understand what Mick Foley was going through with that, because like, he was always just like that match. It's like no matter what he did afterwards, it was always put to that. And that would be kind of annoying in a sense. But Undertaker, the professional that he is, was just like, he's the one who talked him into it, going like, no, it's forever.
Yeah.
The match isn't us anymore. It belongs to everyone else. It brings people together. So just go with it. So I think like, wow, Undertaker's very, very wise.
Philosophical. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did not think that. And it's like, and he's the only one who can interrupt a Foley Disney vacation to go watch a match together. Which I was watching that with my wife, and she's like, "You wouldn't, If we're at Disney, you're not going anywhere else." Nope.
That's awesome.
I'm like, well, if Undertaker called me up and said he wanted to watch Hell in a Cell with me, I'm going.
Yeah. When's the next flight to Austin, Texas? I guess.
Exactly.
You're gonna get thrown off the cage.
Yeah. Whatever. It'll be worth it.
Why not?
Oh my God, he's dead. No, but I just go. Did you, Brian? So you watched the watch along? Did you watch the match as well, or just the watch along?
No, I haven't got to watch the match today or yesterday.
Okay.
There's definitely a couple of Twitter accounts I follow that posted like 2-minute clips, and I saw a couple of those. But yeah, I haven't got to watch the full match on as the original airing yet.
Okay. I haven't watched the original match either. I watched the watch along one, and just like, yeah, go back, Kevin. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Let me ask you this, and then we can move on for the watch along. Are you watching the match and then they're in little cubes, or are you watching them with no match at all when you're watching?
No. It's they're in the top. The match is going on in the top corner, and they're in the bottom. So it's kind of like watching it on Zoom with them.
And very cool. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you see everything the entire time.
Yeah, and their live reactions to it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really fun to see them, have the inside baseball stories about how this came together and everything else reactionary, like we said. So very cool stuff. We could touch on Dynamite because we've got a lot of WWE stuff coming up with SmackDown has a big show, Money in the Bank Saturday afternoon. So let's touch on AEW Dynamite. Couple takeaways for me. We've got MJF and Adam Cole doing the wacky tag team together, and MJF it is like, hey buddy, pal, let's hang out. They've got the t-shirt, the better than you baby. They're going all in on that. So we got that. We've got the Eddie Kingston Moxley drama that's now going to lead to Blood and Guts on July 19th in Boston. Jungle Boy turned heel at Forbidden Door. So he cut a heel promo tonight. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. And I think we can go with that. I think as kind of my biggest takeaways. I mean, the show, the main event, we kind of were texting about. Sting, what are you doing? I mean, come on.
More
Sting,
like
we love you. But
he's hoping that Britt Baker is feeling better soon because he's going to need a dentist after that dive. What the whatever.
It's only funny when you can change one letter and go from an icon to the description of the match.
Stank.
Damn.
Yeah, it was.
So give me your guys. Like I said, those were some of my main takeaways or things I thought were interesting.
I thought
I'd love to
thought
hear your guys' thoughts on that or anything else. Yeah.
You hit the highlight for me right off the bat. I thought the MJF Adam Cole at the beginning was fun. Later on in the episode with Roddy in the back and MJF like,
hey, generic white guy.
Exactly. playfully.
What a great line.
Teasing him on that. I thought that was pretty good because Roddy, it's not that he lacks personality. He's like amazing wrestler, just kind of there, right? It just
100%.
Generic white guy outside.
Great wrestler.
I thought it was fantastic. Those little montages. Those are examples of whatever's going on with Adam Cole, right? It's perfect because I got to see him in interaction with MJF. Thought it was hilarious. Heel promo from Jungle Boy. Thought was fine.
Okay.
Him Hook chasing him. Jungle Boy. The best part about it is when he flew through the air like Superman right in that SUV. I thought it was good. Just overall Dynamite, I thought was just a dud. I think it was more like lighting off a firework in the daytime leading up to 4th of July versus a 4th of July celebration.
I like that.
So, blood. Joe, what did you think about the excessive amount of blood? I feel like the end of Mox, feel like he's going to have a crazier looking forehead than Abdullah the Butcher later.
True.
On.
Well, Moxley has to bleed just going to the concession stand. So that's not a surprise anymore. But every match except for Ruby Soho had blood.
Yeah, guys, I swear to you, I turned on Dynamite. It was probably 8:11. Like I didn't get to turn it on right at them. The very first image is a close up of Moxie like this with his head bleeding. I was like, fuck.
And then the backstage with Renee and him kind of arguing, and Eddie came in. It almost felt so forced. Like
I liked it. But I like
tried
Eddie
to be
Kingston.
real. It tried to be real, but it's just it's going into the mentality of it's like, oh, you listen to Renee's podcast when she talks about how Eddie was the only true friend during that time. Yeah, I'm mentioning other people's podcasts when it's like you see the story. But the thing is, does anyone else know that background? I mean, everyone knows that they're married, but what about the background of their friendship? And the part Renee played in it too. I don't know. I thought Dynamite was very weak, very mid.
Okay.
Actually below mid. I thought Jungle Boy's heel promo was garbage. Know what town you're in, brother. Come on.
I think that was the point though, Joe.
No, it wasn't. No,
come on. You don't think he wanted to get boozed by saying, hey, Toronto?
Nope.
When they were in Hamilton?
I think his main thing of booing was supposed to be the music. He messed up the town for real.
I disagree.
And then he stopped. Rewatch it. Go back. He messes up the town, and then like goes right to his next point real quickly, and doesn't acknowledge
I'll
it.
check
but
it
then
again.
like watch it again, because he turns his back to the camera too after he said it, because he knew he screwed up, or maybe he didn't. But no,
I
he's
see.
not,
I thought you
he's
turned
not a
your
heel.
back to like I'm egging the fans on, right?
Nah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake, and it makes no sense.
Okay.
And they're feuding over a championship where he said it's not even like
it's
a
not
real
a real
championship. So who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? And then the first match, as soon as it started, I'm like, hey, watch this. They're gonna slap each other for 5 minutes, and they're gonna headbutt.
Yeah.
And they're gonna slap each other some more. And
I'm
Moxley's
not
gonna
upset
bleed.
I missed that. Yeah, it's just the same old thing with that.
And then it turns into, we were friends, but you're hanging out with this group, so we can't be friends anymore. And then we're going to do the same thing an hour later with Hangman Page in the Dark Order.
Right.
And then we're going to realize that we're basically writing stories for people in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you're hanging out with this clique. You're not our friends anymore. What, do you think you're too cool for us? It's like, come on.
I was just
like,
glad
you're supposed
that
to be the adult alternative.
Yeah.
And you're writing stories for teenagers.
See, I was just glad that happened with the Dark Order, just because I love story continuity, and that's
and
going, hey,
bled.
we were friends and whatever. So I'm like, I liked it in that sense, but that's a fair point about like, well, that story about like, you were friends of mine and now I don't like you. That was the exact same thing with Eddie, Mox, and
an hour earlier.
So that's a fair point.
Let me ask you guys this. What did you think of the random sighting of Keith Lee in the trios match?
That was a random one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he dyed his hair. And
yes, the beard's gone. Yeah. That's an improvement there.
And how many botches were in that match? Oh my, that was rough to watch.
Okay.
It made no sense.
I stepped in and out a little bit. Did the Kingo like hit Keith Lee on purpose, or did like somebody duck out of the way? This was outside of the ring.
No idea.
No idea.
I'm giving credit to Shivani for his like, you know, when you're not a team,
that's a good cover.
Like he was a professional in that one, but that match was a train wreck from all six.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what was the point of the power bomb, swinging him and then throwing him up just so he would hit his head on the pole and then have to go back on climb up the top rope anyway? It was bad. Like I think the whole night was just bad.
Did either of you guys watch?
And I bet you on 411 it got an 8.5.
Sounds pretty standard. Did anybody watch the second week of Collision? I did not.
I didn't.
No, neither did half of the audience.
Yeah, it did. They definitely took it, which is expected. Your debut episode's going to get the most, and that's going to go down. And we'll have to see how much or how little it goes down. You know, starting for this week.
Well, I'll tell you this: I can't wait for that show to be at Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne getting those 6,000 house shows for
ready to collide.
In AEW standards, I guess that would be live from Pierre's 1,200.
Love it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to follow that from a business perspective. I was glad they did show. I saw this come across from Rampage. The moment with Anthony Bowens being hit on by the girl, and basically him saying like, "What's wrong with you? Like, I'm gay," and the fact that the crowd was like cheering and like
and
popping,
chanting he's gay, but in a positive way.
Yes, and I was like, wow, like how far have we come, wrestling fans, from the day back in the day of like, you know, ooh, Goldust is gay, blah, and like
or HB,
Shawn Michaels, HB gay, like all that. Like the fact that now this is like such a positive thing, I thought that was really cool. I was so glad to see that.
I love it.
I didn't expect it.
Seeing Max jump up,
I thought it was great.
Billy giving him a hug. The crowd legitimately liking him, not just a wrestler, but as a person. I think it's great.
And I liked it because it was all very positive, but it was funny too. Like, you know, they presented that with just like, lady, what's wrong with you?
It's like, do you not get the gear that I'm wearing? Do you not notice?
So it wasn't like some sort of
it
like
wasn't the days of
thing.
Billy and Chuck
great.
where it was the heel. It was the face.
Yes, completely. So I wanted to make sure we noted that. I thought that was really cool that they did that. And a bigger picture moment we might remember, years from now, I suppose. So let's get into Friday Night Smackdown. They're going to be over in London as it's Money in the Bank time on Saturday. Two big matches. This is really, like a pay-per-view quality show on paper.
Yeah.
At least we have two. We're gonna. Yeah, so we've got the tag team championships, Kevin Owens and Sammy versus Pretty Deadly. So they've got the home field advantage in that sense. Guys,
you mean the home field disadvantage? Because if you're at home, you lose.
That's certainly
I don't think so.
The
I think Pretty Deadly will win.
You think so? You think they do?
Not the titles.
Okay.
Oh,
but they'll win
by disqualification.
Maybe Kevin Owens.
No,
has an extra temper or something.
I think it's going to be some Imperium shenanigans.
Okay.
And KO maybe swinging a belt and accidentally, maybe Ludwig ducks and hits brunette Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Elton Prince,
no,
something like that. I think, and then Pretty Deadly win, but they don't take the titles.
I'm going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win legit because it's the WWE home field disadvantage. I mean, Cena lost in Boston and then wins the next month against Edge in Toronto, which it was Booker T always lost in Houston. That was a rule.
He was the biggest.
Sammy lost in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be. I think the only one who ever wins at home is The Rock.
Yes, he did win in Miami for that WrestleMania.
But yeah, Pretty Deadly. They're not ready. They don't really do anything for me. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, keep it going.
I'll be interested to see how the crowd goes with each team on this one, just because it'll be the British guys, and we'll see how that goes. The other one, we're getting Asuka and Charlotte. Bianca Belair is banned from ringside. She's been pleading with Adam Pearce. She's mad that Charlotte cut the line. It's like Joe is feeding Bianca lines all of a sudden. How do you see this one play out, guys? Joe, you're the Charlotte authority. Is she walking out of England with the championship?
I don't care. I don't care what she does, period. Yeah, she's going to walk out with the championship because she has to.
Wow.
But I don't care. I really hope Asuka, I really hope that Bianca comes out and causes an interference for her to lose, but it won't happen because they have such a, basically, they're drooling over the fact that she's a Flair and she has to get to 16. And Bianca had the best line ever when you had 14 championships. Yeah, I held it for over a year, just the one time, which you couldn't do.
That's good.
I bet you Bianca has had the championship for more days than Charlotte's 12 of those
combined reigns.
Yeah, I bet you she does, but that doesn't matter because all people care about is the stupid fact that it's she's a Flair. For some reason, that holds weight in this company. I don't know why, because there's so many other legends out there.
I can't imagine why.
But there's some she doesn't do anything. She has the same character, which has been weak since she got there, and she's just copying off her dad. I don't know. I'm done.
I know. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you done? Are you done?
Carefully, Joe. Your bias is showing.
This is the thing.
I don't care. Their bias is showing.
I know.
I'm in Joe's brain right now.
Oh, good
luck.
No,
you're not.
Okay. It's kind of a crazy place. Asuka has the catchphrase, right, of everyone chanting, Asuka's gonna kill. Joe's really hoping for murder that night. He really
is that an Asuka catchphrase?
Asuka.
Well, I've heard the fans chant that.
Yeah, I've heard
fans.
No one's ready for Asuka, but Joe's gonna kill you. It's like Samoa Joe.
We've heard of that. Yeah.
You want Asuka to kill Charlotte. You would like to
I
see.
don't. I want her gone.
Well,
that's one way to accomplish
it. I think Asuka's gonna retain Well, whoever wins that match is going to be given a massive beat down from Bianca. Massive. And that women's Money in the Bank is going to be before it. They're at least going to tease kind of a cash in somehow. At least tease. I don't want to see the cash in. We've already seen a lot of insta cash ins last year, Liv, right?
Bailey did it to Charlotte.
Yeah. I don't want to see that. Maybe a tease. And maybe this is where we finally see heelish mode Bianca. But if you're going to go all in, attempted murder style, not true murder style.
I don't want to see Bianca be a heel. I want her to save face. I thought about this week. I thought about this a lot. And it's just like Bianca does so much for the company outside of the ring as a role model and as a spokesperson for the WWE. She can't be a heel. She is the female John Cena, as much as we don't want it to happen, but I don't want it to happen. I want her to stay a fan favorite, even if she gets booed. I want her to be the female John Cena, stay face throughout the whole thing because the kids love her.
They do, but yeah, I was pleased when Asuka won over her because I felt like we'd kind of been through. Yeah, I felt like it was time, and so these kind of early, little threads of possible heelish behavior has interested me.
But think about the possibilities, what you could do for a business standpoint.
Yeah, no.
Would a heel one work?
Right.
No. I think like with kids, it would just no. And she has don't they have that reality show coming up eventually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they know
it's supposed
watch.
to be coming.
Yeah. And by the way, I stand corrected. I'm gonna totally correct myself. I said the women's Money in the Bank will be before that. Of course, that Asuka Charlotte is the night before.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Money in the
there won't be.
On that.
I was thinking that I was like, wait, could that really happen?
There could still be a cash in. You could just say, "Hey, I want to fight you now." Whoever has the championship, but that's probably
SmackDown's stacked.
Yeah.
SmackDown has always been so damn good.
Oh, I just thought of something terrible.
What?
There's only 6 women in the Money in the Bank. Are you Kevin? You're still in my head, right?
I don't even.
Yep. Yeah. So Asuka retains. Charlotte puts herself in the Money in the Bank match the next night. She'll get on the mic after losing to Asuka. I
am the line.
If that happens,
you're doing it wrong. She doesn't whisper. She has to yell in one decibel the whole time.
I have a kid sleeping next door. I couldn't do the full-fledged Charlotte.
If that happens, and if Charlotte wins Money in the Bank, will you quit Peacock and protest?
No.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
No,
you don't care.
Most people, Peacock is one of my favorite streamers, so I'm never gonna quit that.
Okay.
And I bought the year for $19.99, so I'm good.
You're stuck. All right. Well, I think Bianca will interfere. I think Charlotte's going to be on the verge of winning. Bianca's going to interfere. We're going to have a triple threat at SummerSlam, and I'm all for it. We'll be there. That's my prediction. Let's get into Money in the Bank. First off, guys, Saturday, 3:00 in the afternoon. A kind of an awkward time where it's not early. It's not the normal later time here for us on the East Coast. Will you be watching live? Do you know your plan yet for Saturday?
Live. 100% live.
Wow. Okay.
It's a big pay-per-view, man.
It is a big one.
You can't miss this one. And this is going to be reminding me of Backlash. Like the Smackdown the night before, the crowd's going to be lit. And then the premium live event, it's going to be loud. They're going to put US audiences to shame.
So both of you guys are live. You can't miss it. It's got to be live.
100%.
100%.
It's going to be special. Some stuff during that is going to be so special, meaning you also have to watch live.
Well,
because we're going to be texting.
He's not going to be.
That's all the time we have for this week, folks. Enjoy wrestling.
Looks like I'll be texting Joe live.
Listen, no, you can.
You know what?
Let's
spoil it. Let's spoil it.
You can spoil. I'm not like some people who don't like spoilers. I'm fine with spoilers. If I want to avoid it, I can avoid it. I'm fine with spoilers. My plan. I should be live for the first hour. Okay. But we were invited in nearby Royal Oak, Michigan. There is a taco festival going on. It is
tacos should be eaten on Tuesday only.
There's an option there. It's the Royal Oak Taco Fest, and I got some friends who wanted to come. It's tacos, it's tequila, but one saving grace, they will have lucha libre wrestling as part of the festival. So I will be watching wrestling as part of my day out. I may not be live for the entire show. And Joe, I guess I didn't sell you on it, but it's the truth. So I'll be watching. Heck, maybe fucking the Kingo will be there and Commander. Why not? They might be there. They might be eating
Gringo
tacos
Loco
next
gonna be
week.
there?
Gringo Loco's double booked for there. He's definitely there. Little joke off the air, guys. GCW is at Harpo's in Detroit the night before SummerSlam, and they're announcing matches, and they just listed in their Twitter post about it all the wrestlers, and they listed Gringo Loco twice. So the Twitter comments were great about like, he's, so nice, he's booked twice.
Well, SummerSlam 94 had Undertaker versus Undertaker, so
true.
maybe we're getting two of them.
We could be getting the epic Gringo Loco versus Gringo Loco match.
Gringo Locos.
You never thought it could happen, but it very well may at Harpo's. So yes, guys. So I'll be live for some. I'll miss probably 2/3 of it live, and I'll watch it later when I'm full of belly of tacos and tequila. Dos cervezas, por favor. So let's get into the card. Women's Tag Team Championships. The newly crowned. What do they call that? Where they're the NXT champs too. Unification.
Doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Rousey and Shayna. Liv and Raquel. Liv Morgan, my girl, is back with Raquel Rodriguez, the team that never lost the titles. Maybe it doesn't matter, but do you have a winner, Joe?
Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, but dud.
Kev?
I agree with Joe, but I will say when Liv came back,
yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. Love Liv Morgan.
So who do you have, Brian?
I've got Rousey and Shayna, guys.
I do. Judas.
I do. I think something happens. I think, there was that weird Raw Money in the Bank qualifying match of Raquel and Trish, where like Becky cost the match for Raquel, and it was like, oh, that was stupid of me, my fault. So I think maybe Ronda and Shayna get the win. Maybe Raquel turns on Liv. That's where I see that one going. Gunther and Riddle. Gunther's gonna win, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next,
not a dud.
It should be fun. I think the crowd will be 100% behind Gunther. Riddle needs Randy Orton back.
Yes, I think my household will be 100% behind Gunther as well.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a Gunther love fest in England, and Riddle's going to go down, and he needs Randy Orton back in the worst way. Cody versus Dom.
This is where it's
tough.
This could go either way.
It shouldn't be tough.
It
shouldn't. But we're gonna get some of the highest cheers and some of the loudest boos going back and forth. Can you just
get the top face and the top heel facing off of against each other?
I look forward to Cody hitting Dom. Yeah, Dom hitting Cody. Ooh, just that back and forth. As much as I want to see Cody win for the continuation of maybe one more match or the because it has been somewhat of a fun build. I'll say I want, and I will predict Dom wins somehow.
I'll tell you how. Brock interferes. Dom wins by
Yeah.
Brock interference, sets up the third match at SummerSlam. Cody
Yeah.
versus Brock. This is just something to put them both on the show.
This was a placeholder.
This is a placeholder. It
It's fun.
really doesn't mean anything, but it's again the top heel and the top face facing off against each other in a mid-card match.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not it's not either Money in the Bank match. It's not Bloodline Civil War. It's not even the next.
It's kind of like reminded me of like, but Dom's way better than John Laurinaitis. But when John Cena versus John Laurinaitis, Cody's going to dominate the whole match.
Yep.
But lose. Like Jericho and Fandango at WrestleMania 29. It's going to dominate the whole match, but lose.
Yeah. That I could see that. Yeah. I could see exactly what you're saying about Brock coming down, costing him the match. I still think I'm going to go with Cody, and maybe the Brock shenanigans are like right after the match. Right. But I don't know. Will Rhea get involved? So this could go either way. This is fun. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. I love the Finn Balor promo video package on Monday night. Mm-hmm. It gave me just a little glimmer that holy shit, maybe they do make Finn win. I'm still going to go with Seth just because of the logic of he just won the championship. It's new and he's on a roll. The crowd loves the song. I would still go Seth, but it's not a dead lock of the night for me because Finn these last couple of weeks has been amazing with his attacks. Mm-hmm. This promo was fantastic. I'm not going to completely rule it out.
I agree. 100%.
I'm not. Finn wins, gets cashed in on.
Okay.
By Damian?
That's fun.
If he wins?
We'll get to
I
that.
haven't said who won yet, but Finn wins but get cashed in on. It tells the same story again. Finn beat Seth, but he only had the championship for 22 hours.
Yeah.
This time he's only going to have it for 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Do you think so? Does Finn win clean? Or does somebody attack Seth and the ref doesn't see it?
Maybe the Money in the Bank winner attacks
and then cashes in,
causes Finn to win, and then cashes in on Finn.
Wow. Okay, that'd be a little different. Interesting. All right, I like where your head's at, man. That'd be cool. Women's Money in the Bank: Becky, Trish, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io, and Zelina Vega. I think this one is a little wide open. They've certainly made a point about Becky hasn't gotten Money in the Bank. So I think we talked last week. You kind of, she's in the match. You kind of feel like she's some sort of favorite. I don't know though. I feel like somehow the Becky, Trish, Zoe thing cancel each other out.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Io Sky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Io Sky. I mean, her and Bayley have a little thing going on, and maybe that's how it ends with them two on the ladder. And Bayley's been in that awkward oh yeah, Io, you could win too. After she's already talked herself up as being the winner. So maybe that's how they're both on the ladder, and Io ends up taking out Bayley to win. I think Zelina would be fun, but she's still got this LWO, so she's all going to be in this good position with that. So I don't think she needs to have the briefcase. So I'll go with Io. Let's go with that.
That's straight from my prediction. So
I'm in your head this time, Kev.
You are. I was thinking of just her match at Backlash. How great it was.
There's a lot of Spartans in here. What the fuck? sorry.
But for the sake of switching up a little bit, I'll go Bayley. I feel like she's just been in a little
I'm Kevin's head.
Walking in a circle, needs a path. And in as much I love Io, she's so talented, so fantastic.
So who are you picking, Bayley or Io?
Well, I can't. I'm
Bayley.
Picking someone a little bit different because I basically have
Bayley.
Agreed with everything so far. I'll go Bayley.
Yeah. Out of the way, Draymond. Joe, what's your pick? Sorry, I had to get to you.
Money Green. I'm going with EO, and it's going to be a rehash of. Remember when Edge won King of the Ring? Probably don't, because you don't remember that Ken Shamrock won it. When he won it in 2001, he had the Stanley Cup, basically King of the Ring, and Christian was holding it like it was like, his trophy the whole time, like the cheerleader. I see EO winning it, but Bailey's the one holding the briefcase, like saying like, this is my girl, like, all that, but then she turns on her and EO becomes the face out of that one. EO wins.
Okay.
That's the story. That's the breakup. That's what we want to see. I think Zoe, Trish, Becky, they don't even need to be in the match, but none of them should win the briefcase.
They'll have their own thing.
Zelina Vega, LWO is over no matter what.
Yeah.
So I dig them.
Yeah.
But yeah. EO.
Christian's kind of pulling that off right now with the TNT championship.
Like, where
he's got it. Like, Luchasaurus is the champ, but he's I've got the championship.
You see Bailey like at commentary with Michael Cole with the briefcase saying like, we're Miss Money in the
Damage
Bank
Control is the winner.
I could like, there's that can go up to Royal Rumble. I can see that.
Okay. Men's Money in the Bank: Logan Paul, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Santos Escobar, Butch, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ricochet. There's 3 strong possibilities that I can see a path for, and there's 4 that it would be a shock of a shock if they did. To me, it's a Logan Paul, LA Knight, or Damian Priest. I could switch my vote 10 times between now and Saturday afternoon or evening when I actually watch it. But let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go LA Knight. Logan Paul, he already had a random championship match with Roman Reigns. He could do another random championship match whenever he wants. He doesn't need the briefcase. He can just come up and say, I'm Logan Paul. Let's have a championship match. Damian Priest, I love the angle with Finn and everything. There's a lot there. But LA Knight's got the crowd behind him. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that WWE management feels the same way and says, we got to give this guy a chance here at the top. So it's a little bit of my gut, but I'm going to go LA Knight.
Well, I'm not changing my prediction here because I'm going same exact thing, because even today I'm watching the damn promo from the Monday where he's talking about the map. And if he follows those directions, he can find where to stick every bottle of Prime. Yeah. And that's exactly the drug that WWE is putting out that I am taking. I'm addicted to him, man. Everything that dude. I feel the thing is I sprinkle a little Impact here and there, and I feel like I've lost so much of that personality of not really watching a lot of the Eli Drake back in the day and all that fun stuff, because little things that I'm seeing here and there, like that personality was there. I feel I'm catching up for lost time, and I don't want it to end, because him with that briefcase, hold it for a long time, bring out those zingers. I want Smackdown already.
Did you see the podcast? I hear a podcast earlier this week where he got interviewed and he thought he was going to be getting fired as Max
I read
Dupree.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done. This is it. And they said, go back to LA Knight. And he was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, what happened? He was Max Dupree, and then someone left the company to retire, and then someone else got put in charge. Best thing that could have happened to LA Knight. As much as I want to see Damian Priest win it, you know how much I want to see Damian Priest win it. I'm picking LA Knight.
Yeah,
I still think he's going to cash in that night, though.
So yeah, Finn wins, and
LA Knight.
I mean, again, it's England, so I don't know if the crowd's going to be really behind Finn because he's a heel, or
they'll still be behind him because,
but they'll be behind LA Knight. You have to think
they'll be behind Finn as well.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Or are they
England,
just
but
going to
it's still-
sing the Seth Rollins song the entire match?
they'll do that too. They're going to be behind everybody.
They'll just
They
be
are.
behind it. Everybody, we love everybody. Okay.
I think the only person they're not going to be behind is Charlotte. I'm not lying. I really think she's going to get the least
And
amount.
I
Dom.
don't know.
No, Dom is
Well,
going
they'll
to
be
get booed out
behind
of
him
the
in the
building.
respect of booing him. Yeah, like he's going to get the reaction.
No, realistically, I think the person who is like, and this is not bias either. I think the crowd is going to go nuts for everyone, and the least reaction is going to be Charlotte.
We'll see. I'd vote Riddle right now in that role, but we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
I think they'll go bro.
Okay,
I
yeah,
feel
they
like
might.
they'll go crazy for him.
They might.
By the way,
I just
so
think
far,
when Gunther's music hits, it's over.
oh, every match, even the women's tag, has the ability to be pretty good.
I agree.
Every match so far, this is a top level pay-per-view.
Ooh, I forgot about the women's tag match. I think the one for the premium live event, the women's tag, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler will get the least reaction.
They'll get maybe the least reaction. Okay.
But for that Friday night SmackDown, it's going to be Charlotte. Sorry.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So we ran into, LA Knight is our champ, or Money in the Bank winner. And now it's Bloodline Civil War. It's the Usos versus Roman and Solo. So, I think I said before the last PLE that until Roman loses, I'm always going to pick Roman. Well, he didn't lose the last match. Solo did, when it was the two of them versus KO and Sammy. What was it? Crown Jewel.
Clash of the Champions.
Clash of Champions. Night of Champions.
Mid-afternoon of Champions.
Late morning if you're in Pacific time.
Brunch of Champions.
So I think it's been said on our show as a possibility. So I will say Usos win. I'll say Solo takes the pin, he loses, and that leads to a splintering of where Solo was the last member of the Bloodline. He goes off to do his own thing, and it may lead to the whatever you call it, the Bloodline Fatal 4-Way.
At SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam, I would think so. So yeah, this could go a million ways, but that's what I'll say. Usos win.
Like, would you say if that happened, like the winner is the head of the table, the tribal chief of that fatal 4-way, like that type of thing?
Yeah.
No, it's whoever. It's for the championship.
Well, it'd be for the championship, but yeah.
Which would be
the same.
I guess there are titles at play. I am so confused by, like, my mind is confused to even pick a winner, because it truly could go either way. I will say Roman and Solo will pick up the W.
Okay.
I am going to quote a wise man here, not Paul Heyman. Whenever there was a early aughts Divas match, who wins those matches? Brian, would you like to say who wins those matches?
We all do.
We all do. I really cannot pick a winner, but Brian would always say it's like, oh, we got Tori Wilson versus versus Stacy Keibler. Who wins? The fans.
Right. We won.
So the fans are going to win this match. It doesn't, like, I have no idea who's going to win, and that's what makes this great. That's what makes this storyline great. I can't pick a winner, so I'm going to pick the Usos, and they pin Roman. Roman gets his first pinfall.
Now,
like, because if Solo gets pinned, it's not a big deal because he already has.
Right.
Roman gets pinned, and this is what would make it even more amazing.
Oh my.
Roman gets pinned. He's laying there in the ring, knocked out after like the double like super kick party that was going on. LA Knight comes out to try to cash in.
Oh, come on.
And the Usos don't allow it to happen.
Oh. Interesting.
Because they're still family.
Well, and that's okay. That's
how I would like to see it end. It's like Roman gets pinned, which shows he can be beat.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen it in 3 years.
That's deep, and I don't think it's completely far-fetched because
with this storyline, nothing is.
Right. And the Usos cut that promo on Friday, like the first time they've been since they were out of the bloodline. And Jay even said it, like, you know, Tribal Chief, Roman, like, we love you. We still love you. But, like, what you did was wrong. You don't respect us. So, to your point of, like, preventing LA Knight from cashing in, like, we still got love for you, Us. Like, you know, that they want, let's get back together and run this company. So, it's I guess it's possible. Yeah, anything's possible, right?
And then LA Knight becomes a Paul Heyman guy.
Well,
not needed.
No,
not needed.
Not needed.
It looks like a hell of a show. England's going to be on fire, I'm sure, on Friday nights for SmackDown and for Saturday for Money in the Bank. That's going to do it for this week, guys. Hell of a show. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Please subscribe if you have subscribed. Hey, if you want to share it with a friend and have them subscribe, that'd be fantastic. We're pushing a little over 3,700 and hoping to get to 4,000 by the end of summer. Maybe we'll see if that happens. At That WrestlePod is for all your socials. Whatamaneuver.net is for your That Wrestling Podcast merchandise. We will be back next week. We'll talk all your Money in the Bank reactions. Oh, not official, guys. I got a fresh cut from Barbara Ryan today, and he just downloaded the AEW Fight Forever game.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I thought, hey, maybe next week you can join the pod, maybe give a little review, and then just stick around and talk wrestling with us. So that might be something for next week. So we'll be back for that. Everybody enjoy yourself and enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.